Good evening, Madden people. We're going to do a late one. We're going to schedule it for tomorrow morning, and we're going to do it to get it out before Good Morning Madden and before they announce the Team of the Weeks. So this is the Team of the Week prediction video that we got coming at you. I don't have a lot of the stats from the previous guys, but quite frankly, I don't think those matter too much when they're getting a Team of the Week because I think all the playable collectibles, I don't know what we're going to call those things yet. Um, but those all seem to be lower overalls. So a lot of these characters aren't necessarily like getting upgrades. We're not going to see better characters coming out. I do have one on my defensive side that I could see getting a higher overall in their playable collectible team of the week thing. Um, but I could also see him not giving it to him just if they're going to try to keep that rule of the collectibles are lower overalls than the current core players. But while we do that, so you guys don't gotta sit here and look at LT and look at Reggie Wayne, we're gonna go ahead and open up a bunch of these get a player packs in the background and see if we can't hit something really cool. Let's see if we can't pull that Tyreek Hill power up out of one of these, you know? Let's see something crazy out of these in the background. But we're gonna start on the defensive side of the ball. The one I think that could break the mold, the new mold of the collectibles being lower than the current overalls, is Foye Olakun. I hope I said that right. But he currently has a 73. He had 3 forced fumbles this week, and anytime you can do that, I think that's pretty impressive. So I think he deserves something. I could see him giving him the 82. I could see him giving him the 78. I in my what I got wrote down here in my notes got him as the 82. But I think he should probably get something on the defensive side. Either the 78 or the 82. I got him again. I got him written down for the 82. Who I got next up in my lineup is J.J. Watt. I was kind of looking at those higher overalls. That way the collectible could be lower. And the only person I saw out there with a real good stat line that had a higher current overall was JJ. He did have 2 sacks this week and 3 quarterback hits. Like I said, he has a high overall, so he's got that 87. So I could see them giving him the 86 collectible. Um, Again, if they stick with the same overalls, we might get into it next week, and the overalls might be, you know, an 80, an 82, and an 84. We don't know. It's a new format with Team of the Week, so my predictions are hard this week because it's a different format. But I do got him at the 86. If they stick with the same kind of overall format for the collectibles, I had to find a high overall guy currently that had a pretty good week this week, and that kind of was J.J. Watt with those 2 sacks. Next up, I had Dominican Sue. He had 2 sacks and 2 quarterback hits. And again, I was looking at this point, I was looking for a low overall, so like that 80 to 82 range, something that they could give that 78 collectible to, and it would still be lower than their current overall. The only other defensive guy I had out there, because I'm not a huge defensive guy, and I don't really know who's wrecking, you know, game plan on the defensive side of the ball. But DeForest Buckner, he did have a safety this week, along with a sack and a half, and 4 quarterback hits himself. Now he had an 86, so I could see him maybe giving him the 82 and giving Olakun the 78. Or maybe you don't give Olakun a collectible just because he's only got a 73. Maybe he's wrapped up in some other program where he can get a card. Not really sure, but there's a couple different ways to splash out these collectibles. And again, I'm not even sure that they're going to stick with the collectibles being those overalls that they introduced last week. So hopefully next week we've got a couple weeks under our belt. We got an idea of what the actual format is, because I've still got a lot of questions. Do the collectible overalls stay the same? Do all of the collectibles have to be lower than the current core cards? There's still a lot of questions out there. We've only seen 1 week. We'll get more familiar with this. Our predictions will get a little bit better. Hopefully on the defensive side of the ball, we'll get a lot better because, to be honest with you, I look at a stat line, and that's kind of what I go off of. I don't really know who is out there making huge defensive plays or making those clutch plays or anything like that. So I'm just going off stat lines. Offensive side of the ball is a little bit different. Who doesn't play fantasy football? Unfortunately, none of my leagues really play defensive guys, so I don't know. Um, but it's so much easier to track, your skill positions. So on the offensive side, I want to start by saying I had to really narrow this list down. I think I had like 8 or 9 guys on there, and I was looking for 3 collectibles and then maybe a current week master. Um, so I was looking for like 4 guys, and I had like 9 guys on my list, so I really had to trim it down. Some of the honorable mentions, I'm just going to go out there and get them out of the way so we can kind of get to the meat of what this is all about. But Josh Allen had a pretty good week, over 400 yards and 4 touchdowns with no interceptions. It's pretty good. Diggs, I love Diggs, but I think if maybe he would have had one more touchdown, you could have given it to him. But he still put up 153 yards and a touchdown. You had Scary Terry, Terry McLaurin. He had another 125 yards and a touchdown on 7 receptions, which is a little bit less than Diggs. So if I couldn't see Diggs going up there, I couldn't put Terry up there. And then Miami's tight end, I'm probably gonna butcher this one, but I think it's Jasecki, Mark something, Jasecki, I can't remember. Um, but he did go 8 for 11. He had 130 yards and a touchdown. And he did have a low overall, so I could have seen him getting that like 78 collectible. Like he was probably one of the last ones to go off my list, but I did end up scratching him off. But those are your honorable mentions. They all had great weeks. Don't want to take anything away from any of them. Unfortunately, Madden is not real football where you can have just a great week and be part of the team of the week. You got to have an overall that kind of accommodates their program. But we're going to start with the current week master. I hate to do it 2 weeks in a row, but I'm gonna vote another Packer up there, and say Aaron Jones has to get it. 168 yards on the ground and 2 touchdowns, and then went 4 for 8 in the air with another 68 yards and another touchdown. He's got an 83, so it's kind of a big jump up there, but I mean it's 236 yards that he put together and 3 touchdowns. Um, I don't know how you're gonna outperform that. I mean that's 200 plus yards and 3 touchdowns. I mean the guy was gold this weekend. So I see him getting the 89. That's who I got as my master for this week. Going down the list by overalls, the next one I see is, again, this kind of breaks the mold here, and I hate to do this, but Dak. I think Dak might get the 86 collectible. Maybe they give him the 82, but then that kind of messes up where I've got the 82 collectible at. So I see him maybe breaking the mold here, and actually looking at it, my offense kind of breaks that mold all over the board. But I see Dak maybe getting an upgrade through Team of the Week. I don't know that they want to do that, because it kind of screws up the whole power up progression, gets +1 overall. So I don't think that's what's possible, but until I feel more comfortable that that is exactly what they're going to do, I'm going to put Dak here at the 86. He had 450 yards. He had 1 touchdown through the air, and then he had 3 rushing touchdowns. The only thing that kind of is his dark mark on the week is he did have a fumble. No interceptions though, but he did have the fumble. But that's what I got at the 86. The 82, not really sure. I got 2, again breaking the mold that that the collectible has to be lower than the current core overall. Either Calvin Ridley, who put up another good week this week. Last week was amazing. This week's amazing. He had over 100 yards and 2 touchdowns on 7 receptions. He's currently a 79, so I see him maybe getting that 82. Again, I know that's breaking the mold, but we'll see what happens. The other one that I could see maybe getting it would be Tyler Higbee. He went 5 for 5, and yeah, he only had 84 yards, or I'm sorry, 54 yards or something like that. He had 3 scores. When you get in the touchdown, or when you get in the end zone 3 times, I think you deserve Team of the Week. Or if you put together 200 yards and 3 touchdowns, I think you deserve the Master of the Week. But I could see Higbee maybe getting that upgrade as well to the 82 collectible. But either one of those guys, I think, is probably your bet for 82. As far as the gold collectible would be Fournette. I think Leonard Fournette, yeah, after getting cut 2 weeks ago, could possibly get it. This was the only one that kind of still fits in that mold where the collectible becomes lower, but I could see Fournette getting it. He had 100 plus yards and 2 touchdowns. And, you know, another 13 yards receiving, nothing spectacular. I think he was like 2 yards a reception or something like that. Just like I think it was like 5 receptions he had, maybe 4 receptions. I'm not quite sure. But not a lot of production through the air. But still, 100 yards on the ground and 2 touchdowns. That's good enough to get in Team of the Week. These were the guys who didn't get injured this week. Unfortunately, this week we took on way too many injuries in the NFL, and I think this kind of goes to show maybe we do need a preseason. You know, it's unprecedented. We've never had not a preseason. We've never seen this out of the injury reports. It sucks. It sucks for all of us wanting to watch our teams and watch everybody getting injured. Well, at least me. I mean, my team ain't taking on injuries. We're just sucking out on the field because we got a young secondary. But Minnesota, pull your crap together. Come on, guys. I think that's going to be it for me today. I think I've said enough. I think you guys have listened to me rambled enough. But this week we came out with Team of the Week predictions. We'll see how we did. I think last week I gave you guys 10 total, and I hit on 6 of the 7. So this week I think I gave you 4 on the defensive side, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the offensive side. So I gave you guys 9. 7 of them are coming out. We'll see how we do. Like I said, last week I think I went 6 out of the 10 I said. But this week I said 1 less. So we'll see. Until tomorrow, when we actually do see. Peace out, man, people.